Hi, Scott again. These are a few testimonials that people have recorded for us, and I appreciate it very much. And we have many, many people with stories that you just can't believe. And it's about their experience on their beginning of the path to wellness for their animals. And many of them for over the years have just experienced crazy things, and you just can't write this stuff. So I took the option to ask them if they would be kind enough to do this, and they did. And hopefully your story will make it as well. So have a listen. Thank you.
Well, the cats were pretty spunky right from the outset because that's what Gene, the breeder, had fed them. And later on, when I got the second cat, I bought the cat food, and they immediately went right on to that quality of food within a week's time. So there really was no transition period from them being lethargic or sick or anything like that. It was spunky right from the get-go. So I was glad I got turned on to that. It was actually what I realized, it's a little more expensive than other cat foods, but when you think my cats have been to the vet like 3 times in 14 years, every time you go to the vet it's $100 or more. I probably saved quite a few $100s, even though I spent a few dollars more for the cat food because they're so healthy. And I expect them to live maybe close to 20 years old. And hopefully that will happen, because if I lose any one of them, it's going to really tear my heart out, because I've had them for so long, you know, they're just part of my life. They're like my children. Well, not quite, but close. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And a lot of people are kind of stupid about that, and some of them say, well, I don't want to change the food, you know, I'm happy with what I'm giving the cats. I said, well, your animal will die shortly, you know. I said, what's going to happen? They're going to get sick and contract all kinds of diseases, they'll lose their enthusiasm to play, and my cats haven't lost any of that. Previously to that, I had a couple of Russian blues. They passed away at roughly 8 years of age from kidney disease, and as a matter of fact, I think they both died of kidney disease. And it was really heartbreaking, because these animals sort of get under your skin. They're like your children, you know. Come home, nobody's here, and there's always the cat, there's somebody in the house, so it's really kind of pleasant. And, you know, most people think of cats as just a stupid animal that just stays around and does, you know, nothing. But cats are like dogs. If you play with them, train them, they're able to do things that a dog can do. And when the cats died, I was really heartbroken. So I had seen a Bengal in a pet store, and I was really taken with the markings on the Bengal, and they let me play with the cat. It was a baby, a few weeks old. And she was so lively, and the way she jumped around, she wasn't afraid of me. She jumped on my lap, and I said, I've got to get a Bengal. They wanted $700 for it. But I found a breeder in Rutherford, New Jersey, and inherited some money, luckily. I was able to buy the one cat. Her name was Samantha. She's spotted. And when we took her home, of course, we didn't bring a cat carrier, so she was put into a cardboard box. Well, on the way home, I heard this screeching and howling and scratching. She was literally ripping the box apart. I told my wife, I said, what the heck did we buy? So when we got home, the cat jumped out of the box, and I put her in my bedroom. I brought the litter box up and tried to feed her some food, then I gave her some chicken and she ate that. And the first thing I did was, I got on the bed, she had jumped on my bed, I got on the bed with her. It's a king size bed, so I try to get down real low and get my head roughly the same height as hers, so she wouldn't be frightened. And she looked at me, I looked at her, I was laying down like this, and she walked over, rolled up under my arm, and went to sleep. Just like that. I looked at her face, and her chin was all white, and I kissed her under the chin. and we bonded just like that. We had her for a week and everything was great. And then I said, you know what, we're out a lot. I said, I'm wondering we should get her, she had a litter mate. Not part of the litter, but a litter mate. And I said, let's get the other Bengal who was striped. That was Tara that you saw. And we got the other one. That woman gave us a really good price on her. And we took her home. And Samantha, the spotted one, did not like that so much because she already became master of the house. So they diddled around with each other a little bit. And in that cat box over here, they used to sit on there and watch us whenever we came home, and they both sat side by side. Wherever we moved, their both heads moved simultaneously. It was really weird. And they were kind of skittish, a little afraid of us. Samantha wasn't when I first took her home. When the other cat came, Samantha sort of felt her fright. So I called up Gene, the owner of the one who was the, I can't think of the word now, the breeder. And she said the cats were originally at someone's home in New York State, and they were abused, they were outside, and they were check bounced. And she went up there, got the cats back. These were the two cats that I purchased. And cats are not very forgiving. They don't forget very easily. Well, it took us a few years to get them to really, really trust us. And of course, after they started to trust us, normally there's no place I can go where, Samantha's my favorite when it comes to me. Tara, the striped one, goes to my wife. But they both come to me if my wife's not home and vice versa. Anyway, now the cats got to the point where most of the time, wherever I am, the cats will follow me around. They'll sit on my lap. When I watch TV, wanting to get up, I literally can't get up. I have to almost throw her off me. She gets mad as could be. In the morning, she plays with me on the kitchen table, and she does something very unique. She stands on my chest with her two front paws, takes her right paw, pulls my head down, and licks my nose. But I could only let her do that a couple of times because her tongue is very rough. So I have to put my fingers up like this, otherwise my nose is big enough, I think maybe they'll make it smaller. I don't know. But anyway, that's my experience with the cats. And from that point, we had spoken to the breeder about food. I said, what's the best food? What do breeders use for their cats? Because I lost two cats at 8 years old, and it was very heart-rendering, you know. And she said, we feed them PhD. That's the way I know the food as Viand, was it Viand PhD? And we bought a couple of bags. And at first the cats took a day or so to, get used to eating the food because we gave them some chicken and stuff, and we sort of spoiled them right away. But we got that food and they started to like it. And as the years went by, cats never seemed to age. As a matter of fact, they've only been to the vet in 14 years, 3 times. And the reason for that, they've always been healthy. One of the cats did get sick after a couple of years, and she urinated a few drops of blood. And she caught some kind of bug or something. She ate something out of the way. But they said it was not a big deal, and they gave her some pills, and she was fine in a couple of days. Other than that, we've had no problems with the cats. And we went to the vet. The vet said, they were roughly around 8, 9 years old now. He said, you brush your cat's teeth? I said, no, why? He said, they're snow white and they haven't lost the tooth in their mouth. I said, no, it's the cat food. I said, it's a PhD, do you sell it? He said, no, we never heard of it. I said, won't you think you ought to look into it if my cats are this healthy? I said, maybe you don't like that because you won't make much money from me. I said, what do you sell? Science diet? Oh yeah, I said, IMs. I said, you really sell that crap? I said, that'll kill your cat in about 8 years. It'll give it either cancer, kidney disease, what's the other thing? Diabetes. Cats will get. And these foods are absolutely horrible. They're not natural. They're made from God knows what. And I understand there's one company that make all this food for everyone. I was on the internet, and these are things that I just found out recently. But the Viand food, my cats are now 14 years old, and when they have playtime, they're the same as they were when they were like 5 and 6 years old. They run around the house, they scamper around like raving lunatics, and they play quite a bit. And then they also seem to have a certain rest period where they're calm, and they sit on my lap, and they seem to be just perfect, like the perfect animal to me. Or the perfect pet, I should say.